Welcome to the 216th commencement ceremony of Wilbraham and Monson Academy. My name is Brian Easler, and I consider myself fortunate to be the head of this amazing school and to participate with you today in the celebration of our graduating class and all that they have accomplished at WMA. We are thrilled to have you join us today on this special occasion for the class of 2020. While we realize that this virtual ceremony will be a marked departure from our usual on-campus festival of celebration, we believe we have orchestrated a program which blends the preservation of some of our commencement traditions while adding a few special surprises fitting for a class as unique as 2020. As such, for any of you who have experienced a WMA commencement in the past, you will notice that we have gone to great effort to preserve, to the extent that we can, the usual tone and content of our ceremony and presentations, even though this is virtual. We have also intentionally saved some of our more sacred rituals, such as receiving diplomas from the head of school and the chair of the board, and the laying of senior stones on the wall, for a future date, during which we will give these time-honored traditions the in-person emphasis that they deserve. We look forward with great enthusiasm to that day when it arrives. Before we begin today, I'd like us all to get settled for the ceremony by quietly reflecting in some silent meditation, wherever you are around the world. Everyone here is fortunate. We have many things for which we can be thankful. We have gathered together on this day, despite our distance and our differences. People of many faiths and beliefs, families from around the globe, to support and celebrate as one the accomplishments and the bright future of our students. Because they hold the keys to the days and years ahead, we have faith in their ability to unlock the potential of the world for us all, to live in peace, to treat one another fairly, and to seek to understand before we seek to blame. In order for us to get in the proper mindset, let us ponder, in silence just for a moment, our love for the class of 2020 and the promise that they represent for the world. For those of you who are watching but may not know, as part of our plan to bond the class of 2020 together under these circumstances and demonstrate our love for them and our pride in their accomplishments, we either shipped or hand-delivered a very special care package to every member of the graduating class, with strict instructions that the package not be opened until we direct them to do so during this ceremony. With our amazing global community, so represented in this class, the gift was meant to pull everyone together tangibly around this virtual gathering. We ask students if they have any special individual surprises in their packages, such as prizes or honors, that they please revel quietly with their family in their pride and happiness and avoid sharing those with friends just yet, so we can preserve the surprise for all until their prize is announced. Now is the time, class of 2020. Please open your care packages. We will give you a few minutes before we begin. I am excited to announce that this year, as selected by their class and affirmed by the full faculty, we have the privilege of hearing from 2 student commencement speakers. This seems fitting given how much this class has missed out on. We are happy that there are some small ways, for now, we are able to give them a little extra. It is my honor to announce the first of our 2 student speakers, Julia Publo. Julia has been at WMA since the 9th grade, and she is a pillar of our community. I have no doubt her words will both inspire and move you.
Thank you, Mr. Easler, for the wonderful introduction. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Julia Publo, and I've attended Wilbraham Monson Academy for the last 4 years. And most importantly, for today's occasion, I'm a member of the class of 2020. Being in the United States, and specifically Massachusetts, it seems only natural for me to be wishing you all a good morning. But seeing as we are all tuning in from different parts of the world and different time zones, I owe a good morning, evening, afternoon, and night to all faculty, students, staff, parents, families, and friends. First and foremost, to the class of 2020, congratulations. I happily get to wish us the cliche but obligatory "we made it." I have dreamt about and envisioned this day for a long time. However, it feels beyond strange to be speaking to you today, not following a vibrant Prize Day ceremony, a night to remember at prom, and the culmination of a high-spirited chase after our fish game champion would have recently been crowned. And it feels most noticeably strange considering the fact that I do not get to see you all in person. My journey at WMA began my freshman year, as it did for many of my fellow members of the class of 2020, with my first memory being our orientation, which took place at Springfield College. We awkwardly packed into the infamous WMA minibuses, conversations at a lull, surrounded by strangers who would unknowingly become our friends. I still remember the 3 people I did those awkward handshake games with, and for all the seniors that were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For me, it was the through the legs handshake with Emily Tarbell, the girl who became the one person that got me through every advisor meeting with great laughs and conversations. It was the lasso the bull handshake with Tristan Lynch, the kid who I never ceased to have a good time with, and the biggest pickup football game enthusiast I know. And it was the salmon handshake with Liam Garrison, the stranger at the time, who I am now proud to call one of my best friends. This was the start of my and many of my classmates' WMA adventure. Extremely uncomfortable at the time, but a bonding experience that began the formation of our class, our family. Our freshman year flashed before our eyes, a year of firsts. Our first varsity game, our first taste of pecan chicken, our first varsity sports banquet, and undoubtedly the first of many slips and falls down the hill during the snowy winter months. Our sophomore year undeniably brought a false sense of certainty, as after completing our first year, we all felt the same, I know everything there is to know about this place, and I have so much time left of high school. Standing here today, I can confidently say how quickly we were proved wrong. As sophomores, we began to expand our horizons, forging new and solidifying already existing friendships with our peers from around the world, making deeper connections with the faculty and staff around us, as we now felt confident enough to learn Gino's name and wave to him each time we passed. Some of us took our first AP class, and we endured so many hardships that we found in 3 class-wide mandatory courses. 1 being sophomore seminar, 2 being routing foundations, Mr. Harrington, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and 3 being sophomore health, which the class of 2020 is quick to point out that we took not only once, say it with me now seniors, but twice. Our junior year, once we all got over having to take our second health class, we began to have our first glimpse of all that laid ahead. Finally, an upperclassmen, we stepped into leadership positions, becoming heads of our clubs, prefects in the dorms, and captains of our sports teams. As we got our college counselors in the winter, the idea of our time at WMA coming to an end became more real than ever before. But this was exciting. We took the SAT and the ACT, we took college tours, and searched for a home, the perfect fit, to spend our next 4 years. A place that would offer community, love, and warmth in all the ways that WMA has. Going to prom for the first time, moving our chapel seats to the first few rows of pews, watching our friends in the class before us graduate, all generated the feeling that we were next. It was finally our time, senior year, and graduation could not come fast enough. Now being a senior, we wish that it never would. And I could never admit it then, but looking back on it now, I would give anything to be back stressing about that 19 chapter midterm in Mr. Cook's AP US history class. Our senior year began with countless, "I can't believe that you're a senior already," from every teacher, coach, faculty, and staff member who cares about us and whom we have grown to care about. When we returned to campus in the fall, we were all panicked and stressed alongside one another as we submitted our college applications while simultaneously celebrating alongside each other as one by one we found our homes for the next 4 years. We left in high hopes for March break, to return to a senior spring that we have all dreamt about, filled with priceless memories with our peers, culminating the 12 years of hard work, only to find out that we would not be returning to campus. I think I speak for every member of the senior class when I say that I initially took this news hard. I was angry, upset, confused, and quite frankly in denial that my senior year ended on March 6th, what felt like any other usual Friday at WMA. No ceremonies, no senior stones, no pretty white dresses and WMA blazers. Years of tradition that we have heard about and seen firsthand, lost. I wish I could give all of you, your parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, the chance to watch you lay down your senior stones and hear Mr. Swanson call out your name as you walk across the stage to shake hands with Mr. Easler and receive your diploma. I wish we could gather afterwards outside of the tent to hug each other, take pictures, celebrate our accomplishments, and say our proper goodbyes. However, no matter how hard we try, we cannot predict the future. The only thing that we can do, especially in times like these, is to control our own lives and actions. We can control what we say, how we choose to talk, how we choose to treat others, how we choose to think, and what we choose to do. These last couple of weeks, as I sat down and thought about what was and would be lost due to our inability to have a traditional ceremony, I came across a poem whose title and meaning I feel hold great significance to the human connections that we have lost this spring. I would like to share this poem with you now. Small Kindnesses by Danusha Ramirez. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded center aisle and people pull in their legs to let you by, or how strangers still say bless you when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and for them to smile back, for the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire, only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy? These fleeting temples we make together when we say, here, have my seat, go ahead, you first. I like your hat. As I thought about Ramirez's words and applied them to the class of 2020, it was the elimination and cancellation of these small kindnesses that struck me the most. It brought me unbelievable sadness, as of course prom, fish game, senior banquet are all extremely meaningful and hold special voids in our hearts. Nothing compared to the thought of losing these small kindnesses that come with the traditional commencement ceremony. Now, you may be thinking, what are these small kindnesses? There's no clam chowder or a red pickup truck involved with a virtual graduation ceremony. However, we know what these small kindnesses are, as we have lived through them, seen them, and participated in them over our course of our lives and the past graduation ceremonies that we have all undoubtedly attended. They're walking down the center aisle and fist bumping your AP chemistry teacher. They're meeting the underclassmen after the ceremony and comforting them as they tell you that they don't know what they'll do without you, not getting to play their next sports season with you. They're taking a moment to hug your advisor before walking out of the tent. A simple gesture that says thank you. Thank you for caring, thank you for supporting me, and for being here for me these last 4 years. Largely unspoken, but communicated through these small kindnesses. They're looking out into the sea of traditional folding chairs, making eye contact with your parents and family, who will undoubtedly be impossible to miss due to the intervals of hand waving and cameras flashing, which occur every few minutes, and simply smiling at them. A thank you for everything you have done for me, for making me who I am, and for doing all you have to get me where I am today. These are but a few of the small kindnesses, some of the most important gestures and words unfortunately left unspoken and unseen with the virtual commencement ceremony. However, instead of wallowing in this sadness, I knew I had to devise a plan to compensate for the small kindnesses we had lost. I had to take action in the class of 2020 fashion. So here comes the interactive portion of my commencement speech, in which I hope each and every person watching this will participate. I would like all students, parents, faculty, staff, coaches, friends, and family to please take out your phone at this time. WMA students, this will be the first and only commencement ceremony in which you be able to take out your phone and use it without Mr. Mannix peering over you as he circles the tent. I would like each of you to think of the examples of small kindnesses I have listed above. The hugs, the thank yous, the high fives, and fist bumps all missed out on. Take this time to send a quick smiley face, heart emoji, GIF, and I'm proud of you text or email to the members of the WMA's senior class that have a special place in your life. Seniors, you can do this too. Send your best friends, teammates, science group chats the same thing. Your favorite picture together, your favorite memory, a "we did it" text. Class of 2020, I would also like you to take this time to do the same for all the faculty, staff, teachers, advisors, coaches, and family members in your life. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Thank them for all they have done for you. And if you're watching this at home with your family, lean over and give them a hug. Oh, and by the way, this is a video after all. So if you need more time, pause the video and take a moment to connect with the people and community that have made us who we are today. Let's work together and use the resources that we have to share and show these small kindnesses in a non-traditional way for a non-traditional time. As I watch this video for the first time on our commencement day, I will be taking part and sharing my love and thanks alongside all of you. But I would like to take this time and share one of my kindnesses with the class of 2020. Congratulations. I am proud of us. We made it. Who we are is a direct result of who this class is, and that is resilient. I feel extremely lucky to have spent the last 4 years with you all and to be a member of the class of 2020. We are the new wave of thinkers, engineers, authors, nurses, politicians, actors, doctors, and we will always be the class that had distinct challenges thrown at them and did not falter. These last 4 years are filled with friendships, laughter, and memories that are moments that will live on forever. This moment in history will always be a unique part of our stories. However, when we look back on our past, it's always the beautiful things that we pick out. And I know that personally, when I look back now, and as I continue to look back in the future, I will pick you, the class of 2020, and all the time that I spent with each and every one of you. So, to the class of 2020, I will miss you all dearly. I am so proud of all that we have been, are, and will be as a class. And most importantly, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia, for sharing such inspiring words on behalf of your class, and for the very thoughtful way you were able to make this event just a little more interactive. Wonderful idea. And now, Mr. Kelly will induct the new members into the Cum Laude Society.
Greetings. At this time, it's my pleasure and distinct honor to announce the names of the students who have been elected to the Cum Laude Society this year. The Cum Laude Society is an honor society which recognizes the academic excellence of students in independent schools. The articles of the Cum Laude Society state that each chapter may elect members of the college preparatory curriculum who have an honor record. The articles further stipulate that each chapter shall determine the nature of what is an honor record. Traditionally, the Wilbraham Monson chapter of Cum Laude has only selected students from the top 20% of the junior or senior classes. Furthermore, we expect these students not only to have the highest grades, but also to have enrolled in a diversified range of courses taken mostly on the honors and advanced placement levels. The Board of Regents of the Cum Laude Society also assumes that chapters will elect to membership only students who have demonstrated good character, honor, and integrity in all aspects of school life. With these considerations in mind, the following students have been selected this year for induction into the Cum Laude Society. From the class of 2020, elected last year as a junior, Hal Harrison Penn. Elected this year, Charging Emily Du. Emily Faithford. Emily Fallon. Liam Garrison, Grace Marie Gower, Rajiv Han, An Nguyen, Julia Publo, Firafat Pete Triratanapas, Shin Julie Chong, Mue Catherine Shu, Kyle Yamagishi Ratsi, Yaki Sherry Yang, Yunji David Yoon, and Tianu Yu. As president of the Wilbraham and Monson chapter of the Cum Laude Society, I now address the following to the members-elect. The distinguished record you have made at this school has won for you membership in the Cum Laude Society. The Society is a fellowship of scholars whose purpose is to recognize excellence in academic work. As you pursue your education, it is our hope that you will accept the honor of your membership as a responsibility to make some contribution to humankind's ongoing search for greater understanding of our fellow human beings and of the society in which we live. In testimony of your admission to the Cum Laude Society, your certificates of membership and your Cum Laude pins are being sent to you. On behalf of the faculty members of the chapter, Gary Cook, Meg Hutchinson, Maureen Kelly-Chesky, Mark Fisher, and Summer Mahoney, I congratulate you on these splendid achievements and wish you good fortune in all your future academic endeavors. Thank you very much.
We will now present the major awards and prizes, and we will start with Mr. Donald Nicholson, Director of Athletics and WMA Class of 1979.
Good morning. The Philip H. Shaw Award, named in honor of Philip H. Shaw, Wilbraham Academy, 1936 to 1969. Revered track and soccer coach and athletic director. His portrait and that of his wife, Florence J. Shaw, hang in a place of honor in our athletic center. The trophy reads, awarded to the student athlete who demonstrates outstanding performance and a desire to improve in athletics. This award is given to our top female and male athlete from the junior or senior class by vote of the faculty. The girls' Phil Shaw Award winner is a member of the senior class. During her time at the academy, this talented student athlete has played a key role in the success of the varsity swimming team and the varsity track and field team. Julie's swim coach, Jonathan Brooke, writes, Julie provided inspiration to the rest of the team because they knew she would always go out and swim her best race and almost always win her events. Her teammates knew she was blessed with natural talent, but without the effort and discipline she applied to her training, that talent would have gone untapped. Julie worked hard each day without drama or complaint. She surely is one of our best swimmers in Wilbraham Monson history. Although swimming was her main sport, she also became a solid contributor to the track and field team. Julie's coach, Danielle Vardabedian, made these comments about her. Julie was positive, reliable, and had a team-first attitude. As a distance runner for us, Julie engaged in many grueling individual and relay races. However, when asked to jump into an additional race for the team when they needed her, Julie would immediately respond to the coaches, sure, whatever you need. As Coach Brooks states, Julie was a quiet leader. The example she set did the talking for her. She will take her swimming talents to Smith College next year. By vote of the faculty, the 2020 Philip H. Shaw Award winner is Seen Julie Zhang. Congratulations. The boys' Phil Shaw Award winner is also a member of the senior class. This outstanding student athlete played a key role in the fortunes of the varsity football team, the varsity wrestling team, and the varsity rugby team. Will's football coach, Jeff Vardabedian, writes, Will is a 4-year starter and only a handful of 2-year captains I have ever had at the academy. Will was asked to do a great deal, but never complained. It was always whatever the team needs. Coach Vardabedian adds, Will is a team-first guy who possesses outstanding leadership skills, toughness, resiliency, and probably most important, a remarkable character. Drew Shea, his wrestling coach, states this about this athlete. Will has exceptional strength as an athlete and as a leader. He truly led by example each day, and you could always count on Will to do the right thing at the right time in his role as a captain. From the rugby field, Tim Harrington and Wally Swanson continue the praises. Tim states, Will embodies the ethos of the sport. hard work, giving your all, and being a good teammate. He does it all and played wherever we asked. Coach Swanson adds, he combined the skills from his other sports and put them together in rugby to become a smart, skilled, and relentless rugby player. We look forward to his career next year as he plays rugby at Holy Cross. By vote of the faculty, the 2020 Philip H. Shaw Award winner is Will Crocker. Congratulations, Will. The Trustees Cup, given to the school in 2008 by Edward Ned Sims, Wilbraham Academy class of 1964. The inscription in the cup reads, awarded annually to the Academy varsity team best achieving the ideals of interscholastic athletics. Here are the ideals and requirements of the cup. Winning record above 500 to be considered. Academic achievement, the team GPA is compiled by the academic dean. Sportsmanship and team spirit, determined through observation of practices, games, and daily campus life. Leadership off the field and community service, determined by observation and leadership involvement on campus. Citizenship and specific community service activity. Based on these criteria and the accomplishments of the other qualifying teams, the Trustee Cup Committee did not have an easy task in making this selection. This year's winner is one of our boys' varsity teams. This team achieved history as it became the first Academy team since 1986 to win the New England Prep School Basketball Championship. The road to our school's 5th championship since 1954 was not always an easy one. They certainly had their shares of ups and downs throughout the long, grueling months of the winter season, but team spirit and a belief in their ability pushed them through. They would qualify for the New England tournament, secure stirring victories over Kimball Union, Cushing, and Worcester to finish this run of an 18-win and 12-loss season, culminating with the coveted AA basketball title. Off the court, the team did very well in the classroom with a very strong GPA throughout the school year. They also played 2/3 of their team on the honor roll with either distinction of honors, high honors, or highest honors. This would also lead to a very strong showing with college placement for these seniors. They could also include a prefect among their members. The team also actively participated in community service. They collected food donations with the Knights of Columbus for a local food pantry at Thanksgiving. The boys also held combined practices with St. Cecilia's CYO program as they hosted the youth team on multiple occasions for skill practices and for work in other areas of their game. This also was important because it allowed our players to spend time with their team as well. Our team certainly lived up to the requirements of the Trustees Cup and the very best ideals of interscholastic athletics. The 2020 Trustee Cup winners, boys varsity basketball. Congratulations to the prize winners and to the entire graduating class. Good luck and all our best with all of your future endeavors.
The Head of School Award. The Head of School Award is not always presented each year. When it is given to a student who has made unique and extraordinary contributions to the life of the Academy and whose contributions do not necessarily fit with the descriptions of other major commencement prizes. The head of school selects the recipient, but the choice is based on feedback from the full faculty. A student must receive overwhelming faculty support in order to be selected. Since the 8th grade, we have been impressed by Harrison's exceptional intellect and his drive. Innately curious and known to far surpass the confines of class curriculum, Harrison's focus has always been the acquisition of knowledge, not grades. Nonetheless, he has performed at the top of his class throughout his upper school years, and with 11 AP or post-AP courses in the last 2 years, 14 in all, Harrison's academic profile is among the strongest we have seen in recent years. In the summer of 2019, Harrison spent 3 weeks at Columbia University and explored international politics and U.S.-China relations. And he also conducted field research with Yale and Columbia professors in Haiti and Peru. He participated in a water purification and medical relief initiative in Haiti in 2017, and then a similar program in Guatemala the following summer. Last spring, Harrison was also selected as one of 7 dormitory prefects, further demonstrating his sense of service and the leadership potential he has embraced at WMA. Mr. Harrington recently commented on Harrison's depth as a speaker, his maturity, and his meaningful engagement with the world of ideas and the world itself. I had the opportunity to observe what Mr. Harrington was referring to when I was having a meeting with all of the students who stayed with us on campus for spring vacation. I was explaining to them that we would not be having on-campus programming for the rest of the year, suggesting they find tickets and go home if they wanted. Harrison leaned back in his chair and said, "I already have a ticket. I leave in a week." When I asked him what had led him to make such a decision, he said with a little twinkle in his eye, "I've seen this coming, Mr. Easler. It was an obvious outcome of the circumstances, so I've prepared for it." This demonstrates not only Harrison's intellectual abilities, but also his penchant to interpret the world around him and predict effectively, or as Mr. Harrington said, his maturity of thought. We know he will make Johns Hopkins every bit as proud of him as he has made us. It is my pleasure to present the 2020 Head of School Award to Howe Harrison Penn.
The Harriet Jones Nelson Trust. In 1938, Mr. Frank G. Nelson of Monson's class of 1869 established a trust fund in the memory of his mother. The terms of the trust fund state, there shall be paid each year a sum of money to the member of the graduating class who has the highest scholastic average for the last 2 years of his or her academic course at the Academy. This award is highly quantitative. It is all about the numbers. The recipient this year could not be more fitting. Entering WMA as a junior, this student quickly demonstrated his thirst and ability for high-level and abstract scholarly discourse. He truly embraces the journey for a solution and finds great pleasure in comprehending every little detail of knowledge, theory, and school of thought. The word calculus is a Latin word, and its original meaning is small pebble. I liken these small pebbles to the details the student sought in all of his classes. I think every teacher here at WMA that has worked with Pete would concur that he has discovered and collected more pebbles than any other student. And in his pursuit of understanding every little detail, he is remarkably patient, easygoing, polite, and respectful. He has achieved near perfection in the areas of AP Calculus BC and multivariable and vector calculus, both highly theoretical and requiring precise technical methods of computation. Pete has also demonstrated an exceptional level of data fluency in AP statistics. His academic skills go well beyond the realm of numbers, as he also excels in AP macroeconomics, AP world history, and AP language and composition. Pete has taken full advantage of these last 2 years at WMA. There is not a single pebble to be found anywhere on campus. He has them all. He will be taking these pebbles and will look to harvest more pebbles next year at the London School of Economics. It is with great honor I award this year's recipient of the Harriet Jones Nelson Trust Award to Firfat Pete Treratonovus. The Pieria Prize is awarded annually to the senior whose record of participation in non-athletic extracurricular activities has been extensive and exemplary. Although this prize focuses on this student's accomplishments in non-athletic extracurricular activities, I would feel remiss if I did not acknowledge that this student is one of the more well-rounded kids in the graduating class. She is routinely named to the high honor roll each term, and she is a 4-year varsity athlete in softball. But there is so much more to this young woman who has a positive and productive influence all over this campus. Maggie has been an integral part to the success of every fall play and winter musical for the past 4 years, winning leading roles in multiple plays, including last year's winter musical Pippin and this year's fall production, Elizabeth Proctor, in The Crucible. But the leading role does not mean the most challenging role. On multiple occasions, our theater director will need Maggie to take the most difficult role, like O'Brien in 1984, or the chaperone in The Drowsy Chaperone. Maggie can always be counted on to put everything she has into rehearsals that then translate into truthful and gutsy performances. Our longtime theater director offered the following in review of the recent production. Maggie's performance as O'Brien in 1984 was one of the best I have seen in my time at the Academy. Her focus, dedication, and determination allowed her to conquer an extremely challenging role and served as an example to the rest of the cast. In addition to being a pillar in our theater community, Maggie has taken a leading role these past 2 years in WMA's Stone Society, a women's empowerment group that promotes greater dialogue about gender and equity at work, school, and beyond. In June 2018, Maggie attended the Independent School Gender Project Summer Conference, and she was later selected to represent WMA at the Bay Path University Women's Leadership Conference. It has been our good fortune to have Maggie in our school community these last 4 years. American University will be very lucky to have her these next 4 years. By vote of the faculty, it is my honor to award the Paeria Prize to Maggie Kuhn.
The Dr. Georgie Rogers Scholar Athlete Award. In 1966, the Monson Academy faculty established the Dr. Georgie Rogers Scholar Athlete Award to honor a member of the graduating class for scholarship, participation in sportsmanship and athletics. In all his endeavors, John's work ethic and can-do approach have proven a complement to his intellect, warm demeanor, and athletic prowess. Most of you may be more familiar with his athletic career. As a standout on the water polo team, he's the second leading scorer in school history. His basketball coach, Mike Mannix, describes John's attitude as team above self. Mr. Mannix said, "It takes a special athlete to sacrifice scoring opportunities during their senior year." John did just that. We know John applied his unwavering work ethic and whole heart to this past basketball season, leading his team to win the New England Prep School Basketball Championship. While John has accomplished much athletically, his scholarship is equally as impressive. His transcript boasts 5 AP and 5 honors courses, yet I feel what his teachers have to say is most telling of his scholarship. Resilient, engaging, and purposeful. He combines curiosity with intelligence, productivity with discipline, positive attitude with determinism. Jonathan has shown an active interest in class, especially with the more nuanced and complex aspects of the lesson. John's exceptional work ethic, strong intellect, and marked sense of humility have contributed so much to our community. This year's Dr. Georgie Rogers Scholar Athlete Award goes to Jonathan Adams. The Berube Prize is given each year by the parents of Kenneth A. Berube, Monson class of 1961, to that student who best exemplifies the determination and dedication to duty of Kenneth A. Berube. Kenneth was an outstanding student and worker at Monson Academy. After attending Brown University, he served as Marine Corps captain until he was shot down by enemy gunfire in South Vietnam. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for heroism and achievement, the Air Medal with 10 gold stars, the Purple Heart, the Vietnam Service Medal, the National Defense Medal, and the Vietnam Campaign Medal. Over the last 3 years, Emily Faithford has been serving the WMA community in numerous ways. She's lended her talents to leading the Stone Society, captaining the varsity volleyball team, and serving as head delegate at Model UN. She is a force in the classroom and is interested and passionate about learning new things. Her teachers comment she is always engaged in class, a leader in discussions, and respectful and thoughtful. She is a thinker who loves learning and considering different perspectives, as well as sharing new ideas. Ms. Summer Mahoney, Emily's advisor, describes her contributions to the Academy the best, and I quote, "Emily is a leader in both action and in word. Emily's thoughtful, kind, compassionate attitude sets an example for us all. And her determination to do her best, especially in the face of hardship, reminds us all that it is possible to be both compassionate and fierce, strong and gentle, respectful and assertive. Her efforts to make this campus a place of inclusion and learning will stay here even after she moves on to American University." Emily, the faculty concur with Ms. Mahoney and are proud to award you as this year's winner of the Berube Prize.
The Stephen D. Lovecraft Memorial Award. This award was established in 1954 by Mr. and Mrs. Edward Lovecraft in memory of their son, Stephen D. Lovecraft, of the Monson class of 1951. The prize is awarded annually to the member of the senior class who has displayed in their daily actions and personal contacts a genuinely fine character, such as that of the boy in whose memory this prize is given. Even the prize name itself, Luck-Craft, when broken into its 2 elements, is particularly appropriate for Will Crocker. Craft, or skills, are what Will has demonstrated in daily leadership and decency. Luck is being fortunate to be born to two supportive parents, Bill and Amy, who serve as models for the path Will has chosen. A prize that is awarded for daily actions and personal contacts is a measure above all else of consistency. All of us can be pretty good once in a while, but real integrity is measured by the daily, often unrewarded duties of goodness and responsibility. Will Crocker demonstrates this without flash, as a quiet and respected leader in his class. As an athlete, Will has been captain of the football, wrestling, and rugby teams, and one would think that he is bigger than he is. Yet for him, it has never been his overwhelming speed or his physical size that pushes him to excel. It has been his unquenchable desire to compete, his ability to endure quite brutal sports. Simply put, it's really all in his name, Will. I've been fortunate to have Will as a student and a rugby player. For 3 years on the rugby field, I've yelled at him to be more forceful and vocal, telling him, speak up, yell at your teammates. You need to bark at the guys to get them together. And he has wisely chosen to never follow my advice. Instead, he simply goes back to making tackles, scoring tries, making penalty kicks, patting his teammates on the back, and picking them up off the ground. Consistent, productive, and ever forward. We'll miss him greatly as he now brings these skills next year to Holy Cross in the fall. The Stephen D. Lovecraft Memorial Award is presented this year to William Crocker. Gift of the class of 1965. In 1965, the graduating class of Wilbraham Academy established an award which should, in perpetuity, be presented to that member of the senior class who, through their period of attendance at the Academy, has shown through word and deed consistent evidence of a high degree of individuality with a concomitant unwillingness to follow the crowd. The class of 1965 called this award the Constructive Nonconformist Award. Moonsu Jackson Kane can sing baritone solos about poverty and loss during the French Revolution, perform frighteningly flexible and full acrobatic splits wearing a Titan costume, and write a 4,000-word AP research paper on middle school songwriting methodology. He doesn't fit neatly into one small box, though I believe he probably could do that. Jackson comes from Seoul, Korea, one of the most dynamic cities in the world. Yet last summer, he opted for staying in the breathtakingly cosmopolitan area of West Springfield. That decision, coupled with his choice in fashion, sure, baby duck pajamas totally appropriate for dinner, helped create an air of unique self-determination. Most recently, I found his new hairstyle decision of nuclear pink, forcing me to adjust the brightness on my monitor during our Zoom meetings. I know he is at home now, listening to this, putting his hands through his shock of crimson hair, and ready with a quick retort of something like, Swanson, you're just jealous. I was fortunate to teach Jackson during his sophomore year and see his skills as a scholar. Yet, over these years, we have all seen him become a sincere and committed leader, as a prefect, as a performer, and as a community organizer, getting us all up off of our collective seats. He is approachable, known to all of our students in grades 6 through 12, and is an overwhelmingly positive, encouraging force on campus, pushing us all to not be afraid to play our own parts on a more public stage. It is with great pleasure that the gift of the class of 1965 go to Moonsu Jackson Kane.
The Kyle Webb Award. This prize is presented to the student whom the faculty considers to have done the most to promote understanding, respect, and sensitivity for people of different cultural backgrounds within the Wilbraham and Monson Academy community. It is given in recognition of Kyle Webb, class of 77, whose leadership as a student was an outstanding model for others to follow. This year's award winner embodies these criteria in every interaction she has on campus. She has only been with us for 2 years, but her influence and positive energy are enormous. Her interactions with her peers, her teachers and coaches, the middle school students, and the entire staff are marked by genuine concern and interest in others. She attended several sessions of the Advanced Social Justice Leadership Institute and brought back many ideas to WMA, which greatly enhanced the presence and impact of the DSU. One of her teachers remarked, "She's gifted at getting along with anyone and everyone. She would clap and cheer other students on as they answered my questions. I and others would attest to this, that for they felt Betty strived to know them and showed her excitement for their successes. That is a gift that will serve her well throughout her life. I am sure that Bates College will greatly benefit from her presence on campus and her positive impact on campus life this fall. The winner of this year's Kyle Webb Award is Betty Stevens. The Billy Lake Prize. Established in 1976, the prize is awarded to that student of the graduating class intending to go on to further education who best typifies the personal characteristics of Billy Lake: selflessness in devotion to the academy, and perfection in devotion to duty. This year's winner has demonstrated his devotion to the academy in many ways over his many years at WMA. This young man, as a prefect this year and as a student, is always asking what else he can do to help. His desire to make WMA a more inclusive place is evident in all of his actions around campus. He is friendly to anyone and everyone, and works hard to make everyone feel comfortable. Mr. Brown, for whom this young man was his very first interview at WMA, describes him as a true Titan who absolutely loves the school and has been a great addition to the panel discussions in the open houses. This winter, he was a driving force behind igniting school spirit and theme nights at the basketball games. James Madison University will benefit tremendously from having Tripp as a new Duke. This year's Billy Lake Prize is awarded to Edward Barquette III, Tripp.
The Markell and Monson Class of 1898 Award. This prize is awarded each year to a senior at Wilbraham and Monson Academy who, in the opinion of the faculty, has made the greatest contribution through leadership, character, and courtesy. And also, the Owen David Dow Memorial Award. Owen David Dow, a member of the Monson Class of 1960, lost his life in the summer of 1962 in an airplane accident while he was engaged in a humanitarian mission. At Monson Academy, he was an all-around athlete, a fine scholar, and an excellent school citizen. Mr. and Mrs. Alan L. Dow, Owen's parents, established a fund under the terms of which the winner of the Markell and Monson Class of 1898 Award for Leadership, Character, and Courtesy will also receive this prize. These two distinguished prizes will be presented this year to a young woman who has demonstrated leadership, character, and courtesy every day for her 3 years at the Academy. She has always been a role model for her fellow students in the work ethic which she has continually demonstrated. Last year, it was my honor to present her with the Trustee Award, an award which is given to a member of the junior class who, in the opinion of the faculty, exemplifies excellence in scholarship and high character combined with achievements in other fields. To no one's surprise, there was no decline in her performance during this, her senior year. Earlier in the ceremony, she was inducted into the Cum Laude Society for her outstanding academic record. Next year, she will be attending Colby College. By the vote of the faculty, the Markell and Monson Class of 1898 Award and the Owen David Dow Award are presented to Grace Marie Gowan. The Dr. Joseph P. Cellular Memorial Award. Established in 1984, the Dr. Joseph P. Cellular Memorial Award was created to pay tribute to Dr. Cellular's admiration of individual achievements made by an international student at Wilbraham and Monson Academy. The late educator was particularly aware of the many contributions made to the academic community by international students who quietly share an interest in our language and exchange customs and ideals while achieving excellent scholarship. In my time here at the Academy, I have heard many praiseworthy remarks about the many great students who have matriculated at our school. However, this year, in my canvassing of faculty for background on this year's winner of the Cellular Award, I heard this description of a student for the very first time, quote, "impossible to replace," end of quote. I think impossible to replace is right on target in describing Kazuki Koyashi, because since he arrived at WMA from his native Japan, he has captivated us with his infectious smile and can-do attitude. His rugby coach, dean of faculty, Wally Swanson, has described him as, quote, "a leader who connects with all people in the classroom and on the field. With his warm and sincere personality, he pushes himself and others in a way that brings them into the fold," end of quote. Next year, he will attend Lafayette College. By the vote of the faculty, the Dr. Joseph P. Cellular Memorial Award is presented to Kazuki Koyasu.
The Frank Chapin Cushman Memorial Award. In 1928, Mrs. Rufus P. Cushman presented the Academy a bronze tablet with the inscription, "To honor right living achieved and to keep high purpose glowing in the soul of youth." It bears the name of Frank Chapin Cushman and the motto, "Live clean, speak true, work hard, play fair," and the inscription, "These were his ideals." The award is presented each year to that student of Wilbraham and Monson Academy who best lives up to them. Engaged, academically talented, kind, and responsible are just some of the reasons why Julia Publo is a highly respected and admired student at Wilbraham and Monson Academy. Julia has been a student at the Academy since the 9th grade, when it was immediately clear that she would be looked up to as a leader. And while she has always been at the top of her class, she remains grounded, approachable, and enthusiastic about all that she takes on. Julia possesses a great capacity for learning and actively seeks challenges. Her record has been exemplary in the most demanding curriculum across all areas of study. She has earned a place on our highest honor roll each trimester that she has been a student here, and she was designated as an AP Scholar with Distinction by the College Board last year. Julia is also a candidate for the AP Capstone Diploma, based on her experiences in AP Seminar and AP Research. While Julia sets her academic goals high and wants to do well, she is genuinely enthusiastic about learning. Julia's teachers remark that she elevates class discussion without being the center of attention and is open-minded and always respectful in considering other perspectives. Julia possesses an innate desire to help others, and she has found a variety of ways to contribute to our school and her local community. One example of many is through her work with the Stone Society here on campus. Julia is co-president of this club, which explores gender inequality and women's rights, not only on our campus, but also for the community. Even though she always has a full plate, Julia has also contributed as a Writing Center tutor, a member of Gold Key Society, and was selected as a Global Scholar and a class representative for the graduating class. As a 2-year captain of our varsity softball team, Julia gave everything of herself to support her teammates, playing multiple positions and remaining a positive source of support for her team. It is clear from Julia's involvement that she is one of our top students and school citizens. Yet she has always remained humble and very balanced within her attitude and everything she takes on. Last year, she was the recipient of the John L. Nepomuceno Prize, and we are excited to see what she accomplishes beginning next year at the College of the Holy Cross. We are thrilled to present Julia Publo as the winner of the 2020 Cushman Award for excelling in character, courtesy, scholarship, and athletics. The Cora Pease Chandler Award. Through the kindness of Major J. Weisheimer, U.S. Army, who died in France in October 1918, a bronze shield was presented to the Academy in 1915 in honor of his mother, Mrs. Cora Pease Chandler, a graduate of the Wesleyan Academy class of 1884. The Chandler Award is presented each year to that student who has shown the best of Wilbraham and Monson Academy spirit during the school year and excelling in character, courtesy, scholarship, and athletics. Last November, as a junior, and because of some injuries on the team, I watched Liam Garrison line up at center in his first ever football game. Across from him, tucked in an aggressive three-point stance, was a huge defensive tackle, a talented player who was easily a head taller and at least 70 pounds heavier. Liam never backed down, and when he rolled back to his feet, brushed himself off, and jogged back to the huddle, he was greeted with welcoming high fives and pats on the back. I begin with this story because it is emblematic of Liam. Constructively restless, Liam seems drawn to new experiences and adventures, and he is respected and admired for it universally by students and adults alike. You see, in this case, Liam is a record-setting track and field athlete, most notably setting a school record of 12 feet 6 inches in the pole vault against Williston and 13 feet in the summer camp last summer for a personal best. But he always wanted to play football, and it was his restless thirst for new experiences that set him on a path from which he would not be deterred. Academically, he ranks among our best students, always with a rigorous course load, including 8 AP courses, 1 post-AP in French, and 7 honors courses in the upper school. Liam was selected as a WMA Global Scholar in the spring of his freshman year, an honor typically reserved for sophomores and above at the earliest. Each year, Liam takes more than the required 5 classes per trimester. This year, he took 7. His decision to take AP US History, in particular, in his senior year, is another example of his constructive restlessness. He enrolled because of the anticipated complexity of the class and his sincere interest in the material. The teacher, one of our most rigorous, is a notoriously tough grader with college-level expectations. Because of this, many students opt not to take it in their senior year. Not Liam. He faced it like that tackle in his first football game, full of curiosity and courage, and living up to it with the hard work and the follow-through that we have come to expect from him. Given his warm demeanor, his drive, and his poise, and his genuine interest in others, it is no wonder that Liam has been selected by the faculty as the 2020 winner of the Chandler Award, and we have no doubt that he will win the pride of his community next year at Tufts, as he has done here at WMA. As usual, at this time, it is now my opportunity to give the valedictory speech, or one last chance to share a few pieces of advice with the graduating class before they head off to their next adventure. It is truly an honor to do so every year, but especially in a year like this one when things have not gone as any of us would have wanted. Those of you who have heard me speak before know that I always speak from the heart and usually from my own experience, and this year will be no different. That is why I thought it would be particularly fitting for me to share a few lessons that I learned from my parents. You have all learned far more than you know from your parents. That realization will come to you in time, if it hasn't already, and you will see the value in what your parents have taught you. This belief is particularly relevant for me now because both of my parents died at the beginning of this crisis, one day apart. They did not die of COVID-19. They died of old age after long and full lives lived well. My mom died on the evening of March 24th, and then Dad died early the next morning of March 25th. Dad was 94 and Mom was 90. And they had issues of failing health, so their deaths were not a surprise. It was a shock, however, that we lost both of them so suddenly and so closely together. And because of this crisis, and this was the really hard part, I was not able to see them before they died or grieve with my family afterward. The timing was unfortunate, but like so many things these days, beyond my power to control. The intervening weeks have been difficult, especially on top of this global and school crisis, but I have been gathering strength from thinking of all of you, my WMA family. I'm not sharing this with you to bring you down or spoil your special day, although I understand how it could seem that way. On the contrary, I'm sharing this story with you to inspire you. My parents' death was not tragic. It was a fitting end to a 70-year love story with all of the trials and tribulations you would expect, and ending with them taking one final stand, one final show of strength in controlling what they could control and managing the rest. Let me share their story with you, because it is beautiful. And then I will share a few things that I learned from them, which you may find useful as you chart your own path during life after WMA. Dad had fallen and broken his hip. At 94, there was really nothing that could be done to make him ambulatory again. While he was in the hospital being treated for his fall, my mom was at home in the loving care of my sisters and brother. But she was suffering from dementia and failing quickly. Dad knew this. In order to receive the dialysis treatments he had received 3 times a week for 3 years, and which literally kept him alive, he would need to remain in a care facility and not be with my mother. He was unwilling to do that. So he decided to forego the treatments, and he went home, sealing his fate. The moment after the orderlies laid my father down in the bed next to my mother, she looked over at him one last time, closed her eyes, and breathed her last breath. The next morning, not waiting long to be back by her side, Dad drifted off peacefully as well. This is a sad story for sure, and still quite raw for me. But it is also, as I have said, a beautiful end to a 70-year story of family, love, sacrifice, commitment, hardship, selflessness, and a stubborn unwillingness to give up. There are lessons to be learned here, not only in how they died, but also in how they lived. I'd like to share a few of those lessons with you today, like they shared them with me, to mark this occasion before each of you launch out into the world. I learned from my parents that we will all make mistakes. Sometimes we will make big ones. I'm not suggesting by this foregone conclusion that you should not try to be your best. You absolutely should. They always expected my best. But we are human, and therefore inherently imperfect. You must understand that you will make mistakes, and that mistakes, like all of our actions, even the wonderful things we do, come with consequences. My parents made their share of mistakes for sure, and so have I. But they taught me that I do not need to be defined by my mistakes. Neither do you. What defines you, what determines the kind of person you are and how people see you and interpret you as a person, is how you respond when you make mistakes. If you take responsibility for them, you will learn from them and become better. If you do your best and to make amends, if you try to right your wrongs, and let's take this one step further, if you understand that other people will also make mistakes, and you can find the empathy and the strength within yourself to forgive them when they have taken responsibility and tried to make amends. If you do those things, when you make a mistake and respond to the mistakes of others, you will be defined as a person of character and integrity, and not simply by the all too human mistakes you will inevitably make. I have seen you act in this way here at WMA, all of you, taking responsibility for your mistakes, learning from them, and forgiving others. And I believe it is a big reason why our community is as strong as it is. I hope you continue to respond in this way going forward so that you will similarly strengthen the new communities you are all about to join and lead. I learned from my parents that we can all endure much more than we think we can. That our actual limits are so much further beyond what we think they are. You see, we are never really pushed hard enough day to day to really know where our limits are. Life, generally, is too easy and does not require us to reach beyond what we thought our limits were to discover what we are truly capable of. This is how I know that you, the class of 2020, are so much stronger and resilient than you even think you are. You do not understand what you are truly capable of enduring because we did not push you hard enough. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you have all worked hard and you have grown immensely in your time in WMA, and you have certainly endured many disruptions in your lives lately. Some of them perhaps even tragic, no doubt. Your understanding of your limits and what you are capable of has certainly expanded, though, in your time here. My point is that even with your growth here and what you have accomplished, you are far, very far from your actual limits of what you are capable of doing and enduring. What we have provided for you is a solid foundation from which you now need to continue to test yourselves. Challenge yourselves every day, push your limits, test what you can endure and what you can accomplish if you really commit to something. Spend the rest of your lives looking for your limits, and I suspect you will never actually reach them, but you will have made full use of the time you are given. I learned from my parents that things can get lost or taken from us. No matter how hard we work and how unfair it might be, losing things is sometimes beyond our control. Cars crash, economies recess, houses burn, we lose things, and sometimes things are taken from us. But I also learned from them that those things are not really important, certainly not as important as others, like our own self-respect, dignity, integrity, hope, and pride, all of which can only be lost or taken away from us if we allow it. We have a choice. Many things have been taken from all of us, certainly the graduating class of 2020, things over which you had no control. I hope you are able now or later, perhaps after some time has gone by, to take control over what cannot be taken from you. Your self-respect and pride about all that you have accomplished here at WMA, and the satisfaction inherent in the hard work completed, the memories made with friends, the hardships overcome, the lessons learned, and a job well done. No matter what, those can never be taken away unless you allow it. Don't let go of those things. They are yours forever if you make that choice. You are all at the end of one chapter of your lives and the beginning of another. Your time at WMA has been amazing, and your next adventure is sure to be equally so. I am asking you not to let this intervening crisis negatively define this time of your lives. Our current situation is unfortunate for sure. It is unfair. But it does not need to control the narrative of this celebratory time in your lives. Let this time only add uniqueness and distinction to your lives. Let it be a positive defining feature. Learn from it. Refer back to it as a shared and common historical experience within which you played a role. But do not let it be something that cripples you with anger, disappointment, or self-pity. In their final days, my parents were not preoccupied with disappointment or resentment for all they had lost or what they had missed out on. And there were as much for them as there is for anybody. As they look back on their lives, they remembered fondly the family and friends they had made, the relationships they had cherished, the people they had shared their time with and cared for, the memories they had made, and the love they had shared. This is what I wish for you, that you live lives full of gratitude for what you have rather than bitterness for what you don't, that you cherish friendships and loved ones and let go of arguments that really mean nothing, that you make memories, both good and bad, that weave an intricate and interesting tapestry with which you can wrap yourself, warm and content, and be satisfied with a life well lived. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our second student commencement speaker and recipient of the Head of School Award moments ago, Harrison, Penn.
Thank you, Mr. Easer, for the warm introduction. Hello, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2020. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Harrison Penn. I have came to Wilbraham Monson Academy for 5 years. And it is with great honor that I'm able to address my classmates and everyone who has supported us on this wonderful journey at the Academy. I wish you're all doing well in this truly difficult time. No matter where you are, which country you belong to, we're all going through this crisis together as a community. Many of you have been used to hearing encouraging commencement speeches that tell the graduates the future is bright. But I don't want to sugarcoat it. The world is in chaos. Spending your summer at the beach with your friends while no social distancing is necessary, that's no longer a given. Getting dropped off at the college of your choice in the fall to start a new chapter of your life, that's no longer a given. Seeing world united and working together to resolve conflicts and address issues, that's no longer a given. It is unfortunate that we have to witness a country divided, a world divided. I'm sure we are all disappointed of not having a complete senior year, a proper prom, and a physical commencement. But that disappointment will soon pass. And then you will have to decide what you want to do as your career. What matters to you? What are your values? After answering those questions, at some point, you have to ask yourself the ultimate question. How do I want to deal with all the problems going on in the world? For those of you who think to yourself, why do I have to change the world? Well, the answer is a simple one. Because it's your world. As it turns out, many of the powerful people in the world don't have the answer. Many of them are even asking the wrong questions. It doesn't matter if you are wealthy when everyone around you is hungry. It doesn't matter if you're healthy when everyone around you is sick. In this kind of circumstances, you look around yourself and you start to realize the old way we do things doesn't work anymore. We are indeed the chosen class, not to put pieces back together again, but to create a more evolved normal. For those of you who think to yourself, how can I change the world? Indeed, you might feel weak in trying to answer the question. I understand that. And I have to tell you that it is going to be hard, but we are all well equipped to solve any problems that need to be solved. Think of students unsure of how to navigate the rich hall. Think of students who struggled to get up in the morning. Think of students who gave up easily when encountering a challenge. That's you from 4 years ago. To get here, however, you have worked hard. But more importantly, you chose to work hard here at WMA. Many of us, domestic or not, have made many international friends. Or maybe you might had a few arguments and debates with them. Those are natural, I think. You have a group of young men and women from all over the world together, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But from those friendships and arguments, you have learned the ability to listen and to respect others' opinions. This is perhaps the most important thing one could learn. This is something that even many, if not most, adults fail to do. We should all ask ourselves what the most important thing is in crises like the one we confront today. Is it unity or is it division? In a world where nationalism and populism are gaining momentum, it is more important than ever for us to listen to each other. After all, there is still much more we can learn from each other. There is still much more we can contribute to the world. The notes of cooperation and mutual respect should not stop now. All of us desire progress over destruction, peace over chaos. We see from the history again and again that a world divided cannot remain peaceful and prosperous. And we face a challenge that extends far beyond the public health crisis we have today. So it is important for all of us to remember why we came to WMA, the global school, and what we have learned. As a matter of fact, after this commencement, all of us will head to our separate ways. And in a few years, many of us will be all around the world, all doing great things. With your words and actions, you can influence more people, making them realize the importance of cooperation over untenable suspicion. With your words and action, you can change the world for the better. After all, that is why we're called the global school. My friends, soon you will complete this transformation from a students to alumni or alumna. I cannot be prouder of everything we have accomplished. Although the challenge we have in front of us remains tougher than ever, but I have seen you making our school a better place for the past 4 years. And I have the utmost confidence that you will make the world a better place. The world has gone through tougher times before. Wars, famines, diseases, and global recessions. Each time, we came out stronger than before. But if we want to create a world where everyone has equal opportunities, if we want to create a society where nobody is discriminated against, if we want to prevent and defeat future pandemics, we'll have to do it all together. When you leave here today, celebrate what you have accomplished, but look forward with an eye toward how you, too, can be the change that we all need. Congratulations, the WMA class of 2020. The world belongs to us, so let's go shape it. Thank you.
Thank you, Harrison. As always, your perspective is so engaging. Thank you and Julia once more for representing your class so well and for sharing your thoughts and feelings with us to remember fondly. We will now acknowledge, by reading their names as we would normally do and showing their senior photo, the members of the graduating class. As I have said before, we will officially confer their official and fully executed diplomas, each graduate with a handshake as soon as conditions and planning allow. We look forward to that day, but we also take great pride in presenting them to you here today. Mr. Swanson, please present us with the graduating class.
Mr. Easler, it is my honor to call forward the members of the class of 2020 who have completed all the requirements for a Wilbraham and Monson Academy diploma. Jonathan M. Adams. Sahana Raven Anand. Recipient of the Howell S. Newell Prize for the Senior Most Improved in the Study of English, Edward John Barquette III. Recipient of the Barber Prize for AP Environmental Science, Joshua Paul Bessie. Recipient of the Barber Prize for Music Jazz Ensemble, Jackson Ari Bloomfield. Keller James Boothby. Caden David Broadnax. Sydney Rachel Carroll. Recipient of the Barber Prize for Advanced Spanish, Catarina Garcia Cid Carter. Claire Sullivan Casey. Jean-Pierre Daniel Catelier. Keyshawn DeAndre Collier. William Duncan Crocker III. Catherine Taylor Cronin. Emma Michelle Curley. Michael Robert Dellon. Saki Dory. Margaret Ruth Donahue. Graduating cum laude, Xiaoxing Du. Recipient of the Barber Prize for Entrepreneurship and Finance, Kyle Shane Du. Liam Asu Edmund Ed. Graduating cum laude, Emily Lauren Farr. Graduating cum laude, Emily Ann Fallon. Jack Richard Filippelli. Recipient of the Catherine Ingram Award for Excellence in French and graduating cum laude, Liam Lloyd Garrison. John Casey Gold. Isabella Grace Gomes. Graduated cum laude, Grace Marie Eva Gowan. Yawin Wong. Vanessa Jane Washington. Gao Ha. Graduating cum laude, Regine Hong. Recipient of the Barber Prize for Music Chamber Ensemble, Mu Chen Wong. Lauren Jamal. Catherine Whitney Johnson. Jean Park Kane. Moon Soo Kane. William Patrick Kane. Teresa Rosemary Kervick. Kazuki Koyasu. Margaret Hume. Linnea Alexandra Lamoth. Recipient of the Barber Prize in Visual Arts for AP 3D Design, Tianxi Li. Sung Jun Lin. Nolan Sebastian Lorenzano. Yanxi Liu. Tristan R. Lynch. Kyle Michael McCall. Nicholas George McLaughlin. Kaya F. Manette. Liam John Murphy. Emre Muftolo. Graduating cum laude, An Tien Nguyen. Jace R. Nielsen. Wachupo Onyuke. Alexander Blake Ott. Recipient of the Ernest J. Lawton Memorial Award for Excellence in Mathematics, and graduated cum laude, Hao Pan. Jae-hyun Park. Mariel Catherine Picknelly. Recipient of the Barber Prize for AP Senior English and graduated cum laude, Julia Ann Publo. Asha Maria Puri. Catherine Marie Quinn. Madeline Rose Rahili. Casey Christina Reed. Erin Marie Rinaldi. Nathan Michael Rivera. Brian Ubayos. Jared J. Musi. Tomaso Saltarelli. Samantha Ann Saltzman. Peyton Ann Sharon. Keon Sneed. Apipu Srimanto. C.K. Stevens. Bethlehem Grace Stevens. Blake Campbell Stewart. Natsumi Suzuki. Vincent Daniel Sweeney. Sudien Tao. Emily M. Tarbell. Gun Tiandamu. Nicholas Thorne Galera. Igor Alexandrovich Tokarski. John Portos Salaguanes. Recipient of the Barber Prize for AP World History. Recipient of the Barber Prize for AP Statistics and graduated cum laude, Hirdapat Triratnapan. Attila Michael Troy. Sarah Marve Troy. Ayinde Amir Turner. Kyron Scott Walsh. Sahir Joe Casio Williamson. Jingting Xie. Recipient of the Marilyn Erickson Memorial Prize for Excellence in the Arts, Zhang Xie. Graduating cum laude, Xin Shang. Recipient of the Edward F. Morris Prize for Excellence in Physics and graduating cum laude, Mue Shu. Graduating cum laude, Kyle Yamagashi Rodstein. Graduating cum laude, Yinsei Yang. Graduated cum laude, Yinji Yoon. Recipient of the Barber Prize for AP Calculus BC and graduated cum laude, Tianyu Yu. Recipient of the Barber Prize in Visual Arts for AP 2D Design, Erica Zarapova. Zhanglong Zhou. Shenzhen Zhou. Yi-K Zhou. On behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of the Academy, we extend our sincere congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Swanson, and congratulations to the alumni class of 2020. Let me be clear, this is not a goodbye, because we will see you all again. I will conclude the ceremony, however, by saying, on behalf of the entire WMA community, job well done, class of 2020. You have all earned our respect and our admiration for what you have accomplished and for what you have endured. We will miss you, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. We will close out the ceremony with a special musical performance by one of your own, Moonsu Jackson Kane.
I've heard that said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun. Like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the woods. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It's well maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine for being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind of the sea, like a sea dropped by a skybird in the distant world. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the world. Who can say for the better? I have been changed for the better, because I knew you.